Exactly. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data C, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. He is blue, representing On-Side Gaming. It is Rex.
And spawning here in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is the Taiwanese Terran playing for Mystery Gaming. It is NaXin.
Oh boy, here we go. A TVZ of the ages, especially because we have a player that is very well known, that has recently joined a top tier team, going up against a little bit of a sleeper agent, someone that we've had our eyes on for quite some time.
Yeah, NaXin is definitely a player in the region that we've been looking out for quite a while because he's a very exciting Terran player. He's got some really interesting builds and some really interesting ways to play them as well. A very aggressive player with some, pretty offbeat ways to approach his builds. I've really enjoyed watching his games that I've seen so far, so I'm excited to see what he has in store for this one, as we see a pretty standard opener coming out from Rex here.
Oh yeah, just a Hatchcast pool coming up from our Zerg player, just to echo a little bit of what you said when it comes to NaXin. Yeah, he's actually been really impressing me, like not just with like offbeat and off-tempo games, but like he's not necessarily a cheesy player like Honmono. And when it comes to like his macro, it's insane. Like the amount of pressure that he's able to put on, the amount of pressure that he can sustain as well, has kind of led to a lot of really good ZVTs. So this first series here is really going to test his mettle, going up against the best Zerg player in all of Taiwan.
Yeah, we do have a very strong player that he is up against here, but here on Data C, we do have a lot of potential for a bit of a later game as well. So if NaXin is able to be strong in that later game, this is a map that we have been seeing that quite a lot on due to the defensive properties of the map. We do like to see a lot of the time, I don't know if like is the right word, especially for our Zerg friends here, but we do often see a bit more of a split map scenario, but we do actually see that second gas going down right away for NaXin, so something a little bit more aggressive here.
Yeah, a little bit more of an aggressive opener on the horizon. The first Reaper does come across the map here just to scout, just to dance with the Lings of Rex, but so far the micro is going to be good enough. Rex not going to be losing anything. The Queen pops out and the Reaper is going to be forced back. NaXin just confirming that there is indeed a third hatchery and there's nothing crazy going on here, at least at the start of the game.
Yeah, that's right. Just doing a little bit of extra checking and running around with this Reaper here is going to dive into the main real quick as well, but that is well denied there by the Queen. And everything starting up very standard with Rex pulling out of gas as well, just getting his Ling speed, and we'll be looking to economically boom here to start off the game.
Yes, exactly. Meanwhile, back across the map, NaXin did take note of that faster gas, and we see it is not going to be a third TC opener here, not third TC before start, but we see a straight up, or more of a straight up 1-1-1 instead.
Yeah, that's right. And with this building positioning as well, I wouldn't be surprised to see a switch maybe for a Banshee or a Raven here as well. 2cc Banshee, definitely a build that is a nice way to get a bit of control over the game just to start things off.
Definitely. We do see that add-on switch in the end. We do have an Overlord hidden behind the Natural in the main base that's going to be trying to slip on in. NaXin, fully aware of its position, does have his Marine here to scout and just to push this back. And so far, Rex hasn't been able to see much at all.
Yeah, I want to give credit to NaXin here as well. The way that he's got his units and his buildings positioned, it looks like he's extremely aware of how Rex likes to scout on this map. So I do think that is a good signal for us that he's done his research here.
Yeah, definitely very well prepared here for Rex. Again, the groups have been released for quite a number of days, so I imagine all the players have been preparing for their opponents, or at least NaXin has. You know, Rex as more of a favorite here in this series, it's possible that he may just be playing this a little bit more straight up, a little bit more normal the way he would usually do, and as a result, so far, this Banshee has been unscouted.
Yeah, Banshee remains unscouted, but nice job here with the Lings. We'll just run up, we'll confirm at least the buildings, and he sees the tech lab researching as well, and we'll be able to get the Overlord scout in at the same time, so nice drop there.
Yeah, we get a full scout of the main base, so Rex is fully aware. He throws down spores immediately at all three of his bases, and they should be done in time for those Banshees. So the jig is up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that NaXin can't do any more damage. Banshees, they don't have to be committed, they don't have to go in and force themselves to kill some workers. They can just maintain map control, you know, force Queens back and deal damage in other ways.
Yeah, that's right. So we are going to be seeing this first Banshee coming in here. The spore is finished up, so we'll just be able to pick off a couple of these drones. Nice pull there by Rex, only losing one drone here. There is potential here for the Banshee to set up between the bases and pick up some transferring drones as well.
Yes, we do not have any mobile detection currently. We only are relying on those spores, so the Banshee has a little bit of free reign, just chips away at those lings. Ooh, as we may be getting a bit of a pause here. A little bit of latency, actually.
Yeah, some ping issues there, so NaXin just going to pause that. I know he did have a little bit of an issue with the disconnect before, so hopefully everything's all right on his end, as we will just give him as much time as he needs just to sort this out.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a shame. Like, both players are, of course, from their respective regions, playing here on the best server that they can. But there are sometimes things out of our control, whether it's, you know, just some affected latency, maybe a tower going down, maybe some bad weather. I hope things get sorted out.
Yeah, we're just going to have to give that a little bit of time just to make sure that we can sort that out. Just sending a message to Rex there as well in the chat, just trying to wait for that ping to come down. So yeah, looks like we will be heading back in once that calms down.
Oh yeah, thankfully it looks like it is. So maybe just a little bit of a ping spike. We don't have a ref. We cannot speak to our players. Oh, but it looks like
we do see. Oh, I know that one. Howler means it's all good.
Nice.
Game resumed.
There we go, and back into the game. So, looks like we are going to be able to get that Banshee out of there if he remembers that as well, but just getting that macro back on the way. Got that 1-1 started up back at home, but meanwhile for Rex, he has had a pretty comfortable start to the game here as well. This 2cc Banshee build, you usually want to get a few drones here to make it worth it, not getting that fast 3cc. So this opening has been slightly favored for Rex here.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so far he's only lost a single drone, but what I will say is that NaXin's done a great job at just at least keeping all of his units alive. He's just been poking and prodding, not over committing, not throwing away his units needlessly, so he will be able to maybe even rejoin his Banshees together, have that one-shot potential, and pick off some more drones later.
Yeah, that's right, and he has macroed it very cleanly at home as well. His medevacs are going to be coming out at a pretty good timing, and just poking away. Got a nice little bit of damage on this creep here, so we'll be setting himself up for a push on this 4th down the line.
Yeah, definitely. At the same time, looks like the Banshee trying to sneak on in while the Queens are distracted, but alas, Rex does have eyes on this. The Queens do rotate over. We even have a little bit of mobile detection as well with that Overseer, so NaXin is forced back. But as you were saying, at least, you know, everything back at home is still looking quite strong. Ooh, actually, the tanks are being loaded up for a push.
Yeah, we do have these tanks coming in, so with this 2cc, you do have a little bit of an earlier tank push, just very slightly earlier than that of a 3cc build, so he will be looking to put some pressure on the 4th here. We do have a really nice tank position as well here, just tucked away behind that 5th mineral line behind the 4th, that we can set up those tanks there as well. But Rex is going to come out to meet him with the Queens here.
Wow, exactly. Has to be so careful with that medevac, with that drop. The Ling Bane is already in position, Baneling speed already done as well, and NaXin forced to siege up here on the low ground.
Yeah, I love this by Rex. Looks like he's very aware of the danger of that tank spot, so he is going to meet this push out on the map and make sure that he doesn't have that opportunity to set up there right away.
Yeah, exactly. He knows the danger that he's in. At the same time, he's going for a massive Ling run by the wall. It's not a wall, but he doesn't go towards the natural. Instead, he does go towards the 3rd base instead, forcing at least a lot of lost mining time.
Yeah, really nice run by coming out here from Rex. We see back home as well. He does have those Hydra starting out. He has managed to get that Hydra range already, Hydra speed on the way. So he does have more than enough to deal with this push at the front here. Even going to take it head on off creep.
Oh, exactly. He's going to be taking a lot of tank shots though. That was actually an amazing KDA charge there, just disrupting the Banelings.
Yeah, really nice grenade there and a little bit of an overextension there by Rex trying to meet that all the way off creep. Maybe feeling a little bit overconfident after his run by there. But the run by force here is going to meet up and he's going to attack these tanks right away, catching them unsieged.
Yeah, the tanks go down. The Banelings get some decent connections as well. This army is going to get cleaned up. Unfortunately, only a single full medevac is able to escape the engagement. And Rex is getting away with a little bit of greed as well. Tech-wise, like he's been able to get fully saturated on his 4 bases off of relatively few gases earlier. Only 4 gases at the time. He was able to get his tech up and running.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful cleanup there by Rex, and he will be able to take a lot of control over the map. The creep spread, even despite the pressure, looking very good, and NaXin getting straight back onto trying to deny some of that.
Yeah, exactly. We do see that he's trying to at least keep the tide here, or to push back as much creep as possible, but Rex being as active as this drop. Now we have 2-2 on the way. Infestation bit is done. Soon we are going to be seeing, there it is, that hive.
Yeah, Rex going into that hive right away, feeling nice and confident in his position, especially with this army supply. He's quite happily droned up to 80 and feeling very comfortable here to start pumping out units, pumping out that tech, starting to look further into the game for how he might deny the Terran from their 4th base.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? NaXin isn't take this line down. Oh, I say that, but oh god. Oh, medevac, please. No. A medevac is going to get taken down. The drops are doing a decent job at just keeping the attention of Rex here back at home, but unfortunately they're not doing much else than that. The creep thread is still being pushed out. The bases are still being taken.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate lapse of attention there. Does lose that medevac, and things are starting to look pretty dire here for NaXin. With that run by getting so much damage at the 3rd, he hasn't been able to start up his 4th base yet at all, and that does set him pretty far behind in this game. He's going to have to turtle up with those tanks and see if he can find a slow way back into this game with his drops.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess Data C does kind of lend towards that, but I worry a little bit because Rex is close to being maxed out, and his win condition here may just be to get eyes on that 4th and just deny it whenever NaXin tries to take it.
Yeah, that's right, and I do worry for NaXin here because he hasn't been able to start this 4th yet, and getting further into this game, this army of Rex that he's starting to put together, this creep spread that he's getting all over the map, is just going to make things harder and harder for NaXin here. We're even seeing some Vipers. We're seeing Adrenal getting started up by Rex. He is going to start to be able to think about an attack here with the blinding clouds on the tanks, allowing him in.
Yeah, exactly. Rex, like, he's fully aware, or he's not letting up when it comes to his tech. He knows exactly how to engage here and what his win condition is going to be. Sure, there's going to be an amazing kind of defensive position here with the high ground and with all these tanks, but a couple of Vipers, a couple of blinding clouds are going to make short work of that.
Yeah, that's right. And with those extra Marines there as well, just a few little changelings slipping into the army there, he is going to be able to catch this unsiege, so he knows exactly what's going on. Does force up a pretty defensive siege here from NaXin, but NaXin, to his credit, he's got quite the army here. He is beginning to push back all of this creep and setting up a pretty dangerous push now.
Yeah, I love the spread, not just of tanks, but also of these Marines cleaning up as much of this creep as possible. The Ling Bane of Rex is preparing itself, but NaXin, not having as many workers, has a pretty insane army supply.
Yeah, this is some beautiful army movement by NaXin, just creeping his way forward as fast as he can, taking out all the creep as he goes and leapfrogging these tanks. Meanwhile, really nice run by Rex, recognizing that the army has left the 3rd undefended, and with that unsiege, he's going to take out some of the Marines at the front here with his Banelings.
Yeah, doesn't pull the trigger quite yet. Again, the Vipers are out there now, full of energy. They are ready to throw down those blinding clouds, and a lot of these tanks are looking quite bunched up here. Meanwhile, the 3rd base is on fire for NaXin.
Yeah, everything going down to this Ling run by Rex, being so patient with the push at the front here. He's just going to give up that base. Doesn't want to give NaXin anything for free before he's ready. He's just going to take whatever damage that he can across the map, and when he's ready to take the engagement, off he goes. Now in with the Banelings.
Yeah, and we have a full surround. The Lings that went for the counterattack come back home as well. The entire Terran army gets engulfed in Ling Bane, and Rex just shuts that army down. Sure, he lost the base, but it doesn't even matter. GG gets called, and Rex takes game number 1.
Wow, what a stunning engagement by Rex there in the end to take that one down. And that was really a game that he was in full command of from the start to the finish. And with the 2cc opening coming out from NaXin, unfortunately not being able to get any damage there, maybe suffering a little bit of an issue with the ping there as well. Just wasn't really able to get his footing throughout that game.
Yeah, exactly. I do hope that the ping didn't really have too much of a play in that game. It would be a shame if that did influence, you know, his timings or some of his engagements. But to give him a little bit of credit though, like, that push did look very impressive. Like, his army movement, the way that he was maneuvering his army in the middle of the map was impressive.
Yeah, he was maneuvering his army through the map really nicely. He showed a lot of his skills throughout that game despite being in such a rough position. So I do feel confident that if he can get himself into a bit of a nicer position in terms of the openings in the next game, he can show us a bit of a closer game as well.
Yeah, I would hope so, as we are going to be getting ready here for our next game. Looking at our map order, it looks like game number 2 is going to be on Cosmic Sapphire.
Yeah, that's right. We do have Cosmic Sapphire coming up. A bit of an interesting map to make it through the vetoes, if I'm going to be honest. Especially against Zerg, with such a big map, with a gold base as well as the Terran. You're looking at a very difficult, more drawn out game on this map.
Oh yeah. As we are going to be getting into game number 2 here. Oh, again, hopefully we don't have any latency issues, as we are going to be taking some precautions just to make sure we can get a proper countdown timer, get a proper pause going as well, as we get into our second game of the series.
Yeah, that's right. Here we are into this second game. So we do have Rex up 1-0, but NaXin has shown his quality, has shown his multitasking, his skills. Is he going to be able to get himself back into this series? Here he is, spawning in the top left-hand corner of this map as the red Terran. It is the Taiwanese player playing for Mystery Gaming. It is NaXin.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the best Zerg player in all of Taiwan, representing On-Side Gaming. It is Rex. The king himself already up 1-0. One game away from moving on to that winner's match.
Yeah, we have seen On-Side, especially with that World Team League season coming up, putting together a pretty formidable team. They've been picking up a few players here and there. We have seen Rex, we've seen Solar just recently picked up as well. So a very strong team that Rex has found himself on. Exciting times, really.
Oh yeah, insanely strong team. They got lucky that they actually avoided the Ducklings in Code 8. But
Mate, they can't avoid us forever.
It's true, it's true. Hey, fun fact, we're facing them in week 2. Just saying. Oh god, but jokes aside, yes, he's on a top tier caliber, arguably maybe even the best team in the world, let's be honest, with Solar and Maru, as well as Neeb, who is no slouch either. So yeah, I'm sure that provides him a lot of opportunities, that provides him a lot of practice partners as well, and I guess because of that, we almost expect his skill level to rise alongside his team.
Yeah, meanwhile, we were referring to this a little bit in the previous series that NaXin, he does have some pretty interesting, sort of different stylistic ways to play Terran, and have a look at this. We've got 2 racks before the CC. This is a very unusual opening coming out from NaXin.
Actually, what am I looking at? Because we have a 2 racks opener, but we're making Marines.
Yeah, I would love to be able to tell you what this is. I have no clue. I think some of the potential that we have here is a little bit of a bunker play going on to a 3rd. I'm a little surprised not to see an SCV out on the map. It looks like, yeah, we do have that SCV out on the map there. So what we can do here as the Terran is set up a bunker outside of vision of that 3rd, and then send a few Marines out. And there's that bunker going down there right away. Yeah. Thanks for making me look smart, NaXin.
There's that bunker. I was about to say, are we watching Run Amok right now? There was a period where Run Amok, an Australian Terran, would do this every single TVZ. I remember him doing it to me on the previous season. What was it? God, the blue map. Forget about it.
2K?
Yeah, 2K. Yeah, 2000 atmospheres. But here we go. The Marines reveal themselves. The bunker is now done. And can Rex hold on to his 3rd?
Yeah, very tricky play coming out here from NaXin. Something a little bit offbeat, something that you're not really used to seeing, especially at this level. So it can really throw off the Zerg. It looks like those Lings are going to be going straight across the map for a little bit of counter pressure. That's going to be really nice against the unupgraded Marines of NaXin as he throws down that stim. And it looks like he will be transitioning from this into a 2-on-1. What an interesting opening.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. We have the force cancel. You're containing Rex to these 2 bases. At the same time, Lings go across the map, but the CC is now done. These Lings are a little bit too late. Again, this could be leading towards the map a little bit because the rush distance is a little bit longer on Cosmic Sapphire. And sure, he loses 1 worker, but we can finish the orbital.
Yeah, that's right. And we do have these Marines coming out. A little bit of a scout there from Rex as well, getting up that ramp, getting eyes on the stim, researching as well. We'll have an idea of what's coming his way, either a 2-on-1 or a 3-rack, something like that. He should be pretty aware. He does have his third started up as well. And as much as he has been delayed quite a bit, this natural from NaXin only just turning into an orbital now means that he's pretty significantly delayed himself.
Yeah, so really interesting kind of turn of events that we're finding ourselves into here. The other thing that I want to bring up is that, again, because Rex's third was delayed, like, he's going to have a lot less larva to work with as well, and that could impact his overall link count, but he has been doing a great job at just droning on Nub, at taking the necessary precautions here to defend against a follow-up push here, even getting a safety bathing nest.
Yeah, we do see that Evo and that Bane Nest going down, so just going to be very safe, going to look to defend whatever it is, the stim play coming out with the Queens in position, with the Banelings up nice and early as well. And meanwhile for NaXin, we do see an extra Rax going down, so I'm starting to get some 2-base all-in vibes from this opener.
Definitely, like, this third Rex just screams 2-base all-in, and this hasn't been scouted by Rex, and this is a little bit scary because if Rex just assumes it's a 2-on-1 and maybe he's a little bit too greedy, maybe he's a little bit too quick to drone up from there, this can catch him off guard. Here we go, the first two medevacs are pushing out across the map, but again, this isn't the biggest tell.
Yeah, we do see those two medevacs coming out. They are a little bit later than your usual 2-on-1, so that does mean that he will have to be a little bit more conservative with them. But with that armory going down and with Hellions being pumped out, it looks like he's going to be looking for a combat shield Hellbat timing to follow this up.
Interesting. I mean, thankfully for Rex, he does have that safety Baneling nest, so he will have access to morph them in once he does catch wind of what is coming his way. But will he be ready for it? Will he be able to scout it in time? As the double drop is here, again, looking to try and force Rex back, looking to try and deny as much creep as possible.
Yeah, he's going to push this creep back on the side here. I love this from Rex as well, just taking out those rocks as well, doing his diligence on this map just to make sure that all his avenues of defense are open to him. But meanwhile, NaXin sending out a little bit of a force to the bottom left-hand side as well, so starting to set up a bit of multi-prong pressure here.
Yeah, he is, but I'm a little bit shocked looking at the units tab. Rex has 10 queens right now. My god, he is insanely defensive right now, leaving the queens here at his third base. This push is looking decent. Oh my god, he's actually already morphing in his Hellbats. He's going in.
Yeah, he's going to get those Hellbats started up right away. He does have Liberators rallying in as well, so this is very aggressive all-in play. Rex recognizing this well, bringing all his queens down to the low ground, morphing in a lot of Banelings here as well, but with that Bane speed so far away, actually not on the horizon at all, there is going to be a lot of micro potential here for NaXin with this push.
There really is. So far, the target fire is looking pretty good here. The Hellbats do go down, and it looks like NaXin is forced to pick up.
Yeah, some beautiful splits coming out there from NaXin, but just managing to, not managing quite to take out those last few Banelings will be pushed back, and losing a lot of supply here does mean that Rex finds himself in a much more comfortable position, and that +1 Carapace is almost finished as well.
Yeah, we saw how much time those queens could buy. They had so much energy for transfuse. There were just so many queens available on the front line. It didn't even matter that there was no Baneling speed. It doesn't even matter that the lair is done, but it wasn't on the horizon. Meanwhile, we do have a bit of a ling run by. Thankfully, the wall is a wall.
Yeah, NaXin with good reactions there, getting that wall up, but he will have to start to repair this wall as well if he has the time to get the SCVs over there. Nice stitch up with the Liberator. He's going to be able to keep himself safe here, but really, he's the one that wants to be putting on the pressure. Rex has done such a good job with these Ling Run buys in the last couple games.
Yeah, we were talking about it, like, NaXin was pretty all-in with this push, with this attack, delaying his third CC by so much. He does have one on the way, by the way. It is on the horizon here, now halfway done, but it does feel like this is a little bit more of an afterthought, and it does feel like he intended to deal more damage.
Yeah, that's right. And behind this, Rex has managed to get himself up to 60 drones quite comfortably. So, especially against a 2-base all-in, sitting around 60 drones is a pretty comfortable spot for the Zerg. It's generally roughly where you want to be. And we do have that Bane speed being started up for him as well. Yeah,
there we go. Baneling speed finally on the way to 1 as well, as he already has +1 carapace to work with. Beautifully done here to deal with a bit of a 2-on-1. Liberators being a little bit annoying, but again, because of this high queen count, like, NaXin just can't find any damage.
Yeah, Rex has been extremely effective with the queens and with the splitting of his army, just repelling every attack from NaXin. And NaXin has actually been very He's done a really good job preserving his units, especially with that Liberator there. That was a nice piece of micro there just to get it out of there, but unfortunately sieging it up on a Spore here as he starts to go for multi-prong harass.
Yeah, Liberator's going to go down. At the same time, we have another drop here on the left-hand side, trying to find a little bit of damage at the third, but once again, Ling Bane, just Rex is ready all over the place. He is ready for any kind of drop in any one of his bases, and he just cannot be broken.
Yeah, Rex has split his army here extremely well, and with his +1 attack and with that Carapace on the way as well, he's going to be pretty significantly ahead of the upgrades of the Terran. With a heavy Ling style as well, that Carapace is very significant against Marines.
Yeah, definitely. That +2 is going to be huge once it does kick in. Meanwhile, we have another Liberator headed towards the natural base, but already sustaining a lot of damage here as it runs by those Queens. At least NaXin is able to expand and take a story piece behind this. At least, you know, these drops have been keeping Rex at home.
Yeah, that's right. The drops have been keeping it busy. The Liberators have been keeping it busy as well. And NaXin's macro behind this has been very solid. He's been continuing to pump out these SCVs, has got himself up to a pretty nice work account here. And Rex on his side, he's quite almost all in with this Ling Bane force here. He hasn't really been able to squeeze out any extra drones here. We do find the Terran in a pretty nice spot when it's a pretty nice economic spot, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I'm surprised that despite the base count, despite the map control, despite everything, like, we just don't have any droning at all from Rex. He's taking more bases, don't get me wrong, but that may just be more for lava. There we go. Finally, he finds room to drone, but because of that, he has allowed NaXin to get into this economically.
Yeah, that's right. If NaXin can hold on against the Ling Bane attack coming out, but meanwhile, we do see all these Lings coming straight into the third here.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of decent Widowmine shots, but there are just so many Lings, it doesn't even matter. He overpowers all of these reinforcements. Another Widowmine is going to burrow, but nice dodge there by Rex as he takes down the third.
Yeah, nice micro by there by Rex. Does take out every single SCV at the third. Meanwhile, NaXin setting up a bit of an attack down the bottom right-hand corner here. A little bit lucky there not to be taken out by the Banes. We'll get all of those units out of there.
Yeah, exactly. That was so close. He wasn't looking for a moment, but thankfully the Banes don't roll in, but GG gets called anyway. And Rex takes the series 2-0.